Anyway, we're playing Put Up or Shut Up Rock and Roll Trivia. And Rusty, our fact checker, has now gone inside the numbers on this.
To a degree you just cannot even imagine.
And you're right, I did lose. The final was 7-5. And let me say about B.B. Shea, boy, he was Johnny on the spot checking this buzzer beater. The player passed on a question, same question I passed on. It was, what song contains this lyric? It turned out to be a lyric from New Kid in Town. We both got it eventually. His getting it right helped because he won 7-5. And I told B.B. Shea when I didn't hear it when the player passed on it. And Chris Tim said, there's one at the buzzer. We don't know if it's right or wrong. And I told B.B. Shea, don't worry about checking it. We'll check it at the end. And B.B. Shea said, I already got it. He's right. And I was like, well, aren't you just Mr. Speedy on that? You know, he right on the money with that.
It was not like one of these NFL basketball replays where the referees are scrutinizing the video.
Yeah.
He said, he went back and checked it instantaneously. Player beat the buzzer.
Yeah, and I said, well, aren't you Mr. Ooh, I'm the referee here.
I don't like that. Let the drama build.
Yeah, let the drama, that's what I told him. Let the drama build. So, indeed, the player had gotten it right, and Rusty, our fact checker, went back inside the numbers. He literally had a picture of audio that he sent us showing where the player had answered the question, did the shot leave his hand before the buzzer, and where the buzzer came in, and he beat it by 0.198 seconds. It was the best ever. It was the closest ever get before the buzzer sounded. Here is that player getting the answer right. The answer is New Kid in Town.
What 1976 song includes this lyric? There's so many things you should have told her, but night after night, you're willing to hold her.
Oh, no, so it's the Eagles. Pass.
Which did you pass on?
You got
Yeah.
5 seconds.
5 seconds. I'm sorry.
New Kid.
Right there. Right there. You hear how close that was? He did. He said the word new 0.198 seconds before the buzzer went off, and that was counted properly, correctly. It was right. He got it right.
That is unbelievably close.
He would have won anyway. He won 7-5, as BB Shea also pointed out. Yeah, I really missed my coach in here on Friday.
Yeah, I was staring at a wall calendar of Dolly Parton.
Yeah, while you were hovering over Uncle Herschel.
Yeah, some of those the long candy sticks, I was picking out my flavors.
Oh, did you give me footlong Tootsie Roll?
I did not, but I saw it. I saw it, and I thought of you all. I was like, hey, you're just talking about these.
Yeah.
BB Shea also volunteered to run the clock.
He did. He was running clock on that.
He sat in the hot seat.
He was running clock, sitting in the hot seat. And boy, who knew it would be so controversial when he was running the clock. But rightfully so, that was counted as a right answer, and the final was 7-5. I was proud of my effort. I clapped it up at the end.
Hey, I'll take a 5, and you had a nice winning streak.
Do what you do. That's it. We had February was undefeated.
Hey,
whatever.
Hey.
Yeah,
I'll take things losers say for 100.
February was undefeated. Yeah. Here it is, March Madness. That's like when whatever team bows out of the tournament first, they'll say, well, February was undefeated. And, well, I watched 2 great basketball games when I couldn't move on Saturday, when I got back into my home and couldn't move. I had the St. John's Marquette game on, and followed by the Auburn versus Alabama game. Both were overtime buzzer beaters, and both were great games. But I wanted to say something, and I hope I don't sound too nambly-pambly on this. There's times I sound nambly-pambly. But in each of these games, these were hard-fought contests to the end amongst college athletes, our student athletes, going down to the wire in both these games. And in both cases, first, St. John's gets a steal and a last-second buzzer beater in overtime. And the guy who makes the shot races to the other end of the floor to where the student section is for Marquette and does the goodbye wave. To which every single student, and they had the camera behind them, shot back double fingers.
Big God.
And I just turned to my son, who's home for spring break, and I said, We need to have a little humility and a little grace and a little sportsmanship here, you know?
Was he also holding up double fingers and laughing hysterically watching this?
Yes, and I said, you know, son, you don't even have a dog in this fight, and you didn't care who won this game. And I said, this is, you know, it used to be you'd win the game and you'd say, we've won, let's move on.
Well done.
Let's move on. You'd jump up and down, you'd hold your fist in the air, and then you'd walk off the court. Now it's immediately everybody runs toward the student section to do the, one guy did the I just put you to sleep motion.
Oh, that's very popular.
Everybody else waved goodbye, and every student from Marquette, because the road team won in both cases, gave the finger back. And then later I watched the Auburn versus Alabama game. Alabama on the road, great game.
I saw the last 10 minutes of that. I mean, it was like a heavyweight fight.
That's probably the first I watched the entire game because I couldn't move. I couldn't even reach the remote. That's how sick I was.
Those are good teams.
Yes.
Real good teams. They're stacked.
I saw the three best college basketball teams. Auburn, Alabama, Tennessee, Duke. These are the teams. I mean, the SEC and Duke is, in my mind, what it is, you know.
Do you know Auburn is so good that they've now lost twice?
Yes.
And even if they lost in like the quarterfinals of their tournament, they'd still be the overall 1 seed because they've played like 16 tier 1 opponents this year. That's how good the SEC is.
Impressive. Unbelievably impressive team. Nonetheless, game ends, Alabama wins. All right, on the road. Alabama's also great. They win on the road, buzzer beater. Well, the student athlete that makes the last shot immediately runs to the Auburn section and folds his arms like, what? And I just said to my son, who was at that point giving the finger, I said, son, we used to win, the teams used to win with a little grace and a little humility. What has happened to sportsmanship in this country? Am I the only one screaming for sportsmanship?
You did leave out that the Alabama fans showered them with bottles.
Yeah. Same. The Auburn fans showered them.
Auburn
with
fans, you're right.
Yes, exactly.
The bottles at the Alabama players.
Exactly. Well, now first the guy does the look, and then the bottles come raining down. It's like, what is going on? Why can we not win and lose with a little dignity? You know, in the other game, fingers were given. In this game, bottles were showered. It's like, come on. You know, these are good contests. You don't have to. You can win with dignity. You can lose with dignity. Neither do it.
But this is Alabama-Auburn. I mean, that is the oldest
I don't care.
rivalry
It
in the South.
happens every game I see. It happens. Marquette and St. John's are not huge rivals.
No.
Exact same thing. Yeah, it's just how it is. In a close game, if one team beats the other, it's not, hey, we won, great game. It's let me rub it in your face. And I think in the pregame, I think the students are screaming. A couple of years ago, Carolina went into Duke and won. And at the end of the game, I didn't like how Carolina acted because they were doing a bunch of stuff. And then later, a bunch of Carolina fans said, yeah, well, you should have seen what the Duke fans were screaming at them before the game. Let me quote Coach K himself, who said, hey, let's give up on these chants that are derogatory to the other team. Let's just give an old classic, let's go Duke.
Defense. Yeah, let's go. Come on, Duke. You know. Let's go, Duke. Come on. You know.
This is what I'm saying. Let's go Duke. You know, this is let's go.
If you keep up with these hot takes, you'll be like Mike Krzyzewski, unemployed.
Do you know?
Okay, I don't know if Biggie heard your list of freezing cold takes that come back year after year.
That's another thing you missed on Friday.
This one's moving up the chart.
Listen to what you missed on Friday.
Oh, no.
This is one of the greats. Even Rusty, our fact checker, tipped his cap.
Oh, really?
Bowed his head. We had a P1 who said, I wish to remain anonymous, but he had compiled enough of them now that he felt it was the right time to send it. An email of my freezing cold takes.
Wow.
That I had 3 consecutive years or more. Okay. These are freezing cold. Now, next year, he'll be able to add to the list. You college basketball athletes need to be much more tame, and you must be more
be humble.
Humbled when you win, and you must have good sportsmanship instead of rubbing it into the face of the opponent, which I firmly believe it's as freezing cold to take. You won't find any other.
No,
you won't find a sports radio host saying that today.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the only one that leads the charge. The listener in question, who wished to remain anonymous, gave my freezing cold takes that I'd repeated at least 3 times annually, and I'll just do a few from memory.
Okay.
I bet you could do it too, Biggie.
I bet you can play along here. Some of them are seasonal. Why are these pumpkin spice lattes already on sale?
That's probably Biggie's favorite.
Well, that's a personal touch for me.
Of course.
Chris Jim chronicled. Why are these Halloween decorations in the stores in August?
Why am I hearing Christmas music on the radio
October.
on Halloween?
Why am I hearing Christmas music already? These are the common freezing cold tech. Now, he did it just in time for one of his favorites. Why don't we just forget daylight savings time and keep the clocks the same?
Did you ask BB Shea his opinion of daylight savings time?
Well, he said he's a golfer, so he
likes it long.
Oh,
He
okay.
likes
Yeah.
more late light.
He's with me. He wants it to be like this, now.
Summer hours.
For full time. My family's completely against me, by the way. They all like dark and gray and get dark early. And my son's like, yeah, I hate it like this. I don't want. And my daughter, they don't like to go outside. They're like, no, get it darker early. So they don't like it the way it is now. And I saw once again, and I said the TV's just as freezing cold as I am with their takes. They did another story today on like you're gonna feel like you're lagging behind today. Heart attacks are up today. Big car
Traffic
accidents.
accidents, yeah.
Do you think? I mean, you'd lose an hour's sleep, of course. We lost an hour's sleep over the weekend. But unless you go to church, and we've skipped church this. Well, listen, we skipped this weekend. Okay, I was under the weather. I wasn't feeling well, and so we didn't go to church. So I just
Did
moved.
you still send in a donation?
Well, that's private. I mean, I'm not going to say that, but I moved the clocks up Saturday night, and then I just didn't set an alarm. How many people really have to get up for something on Sunday? If you don't, you really don't lose an hour's sleep. You just get up at 9:30 instead of 8:30 or whatever it is. You can sleep as late as you want. A lot of people can. If you get up for church or if you work, of course you have to go. But even church, you can go to like an 11 o'clock service. It's not like you're getting up at the crack of dawn. Is it as big a problem as we think it is? When you spring forward. I mean,
I guess stats would say yes.
They do. I mean,
Yeah.
But most people, I think, just sleep.
But I think I found that it's easier mentally, at least at our house, when you set the clocks ahead the night before.
Me too. That's what I did. That's what I did.
And I don't know how to change the clock on the oven. And almost every other clock resets itself now, like the TV and your phone.
This will be, sometimes Biggie likes to chronicle interplay between my wife and myself. And I was setting the clocks. She had just gone to bed we'd watched all the day's activities. I was not feeling well. And she was back in the bedroom. And on the way through the kitchen, open concept, I stop at the microwave and at the oven. And my son, who's home for spring break, was standing there having his last, whatever he was having.
Meal bite.
From the refrigerator, yeah. And so I start to set the clock, so it's beep, 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 beep. And first I did the microwave, then I did the oven, beep, beep. And the oven makes you go through the year and the date and all of it. So it's a lot of beeping. So
really?
Beep, 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 beep. Yeah. So my wife goes, "What's that beeping?" And I say, "I'm setting the clock." "You're welcome." And my son said, "Way to lay down the law, Dad."
This is such a preview for retirement. This is just wait till 15 years from now. What's that, baby? I'm trying to set the clock. What? I'm trying to set the clock.
And he's like, "Give it up." He's like, pound
Show
this
her who's
rock.
boss.
Pound this rock. Show her who's boss, Dad. Lay down the law.
You control time because you're a man.
Why don't you walk in, give her double birds.
Yeah, we had a big screaming match over, "What are you doing?
What am I hearing?
That beeping is driving me mad. I'm setting the clock." That's where it is. Today, by the way, is National Take a Nap Day because 72% of us love to nap. We love to nap on a weekly basis.
Who's against napping?
No, exactly. What 28% of you? 10% didn't understand the question.
5-year-olds?
Yeah.
It's an old stand-up comedy joke. All you think about when you're a kid is, I don't want to take a nap. Don't want to take a nap.
When you're an adult.
As soon as you become an adult, that's all you dream about.
Give me a nap. I saw the comedian Craig Shoemaker, former guest on this program, talking about napping after intimacy.
That's right, I nap after sex. Every guy does, right, fellas? Two guys.
Every guy falls asleep. It's like a chemical knocks you out. Come on, guys. You ever start nodding out after sex? It's always when your woman is wide awake and wants to share her feelings. You're trying to be a good boy, keep your head up. It's like driving on a long highway at 3 a.m. Oh, yeah. I heard you. You're all laughing because that's true. Every guy falls asleep. Does that go for two gay guys? I'm done. Me too. That's convenient. One or two lesbians stay up all night sharing their feelings. I'll investigate. Get back to you.
That's Craig Shoemaker. Enjoy National Nap Day. Two guys named Chris